How did you get over suicidal thoughts? Serious? I ended up seeing a therapist and just talking about it. This didn't fix it, but it was a start. Just having someone else know felt like a huge weight off my chest. After that it was little by little. I never had a moment where I said I'm better or felt a sudden happy switch. It was just little crumbs of happiness, and one day I felt more okay than bad. Some stuff that helped me personally is getting out, literally, and walking. I've always loved nature, so getting out of the house and just walking on paths made me feel a little better. I'd try to notice a cute puffy cloud, or a pretty bird flying by. Maybe mention it out loud to myself. Force yourself to see little things you like, and hopefully over time you don't need to force it. Your days start feeling full of little things you like, and slowly you feel better. The therapist really helped me. Talking about it out loud. I had some friends I eventually confided in. I'd felt too guilty to mention it at first. That I think made the biggest impact. The nature stuff just helped me keep improving. I still go for walks if I feel bad. It still helps me feel better. I don't know if I ever truly got over them. I've revisited it many times in my life. I think eventually the extreme hopelessness gets a little less and a little less until you can cope. For me, medication has helped in the past, and therapy has helped some too. The fact that I have kids is also a motivation to get past it when it hits, because I know they need me and I know how much it would damage them to have a mother who killed herself. So I tell myself it's not an option anymore. It was taken off the table after my kids were born. The first time I realized that it felt really unfair, but it has saved my life more than a few times. I don't think I have truly gotten over them. I just have a good few months, then end up super depressed and wanting to just stop completely. I basically tell myself to keep plowing through. Loads of psychiatric and psychological therapy. Tough couple of years, but life's good now. I took a heroic dose of mushrooms. I want to say I heard it as a joke, but I took it to heart. I heard the quote, "Suicide is a permanent solution to temporary problems." I've never been extremely serious about it, but when things go downhill in life, the thought has always haunted me. To me it's more of a guilt trip to myself on how it would affect my friends and family. Just like the top commenter though, I did kind of kill some parts of my life. It was a hard and long road of re-establishing myself and the people around me. I even ended a 3.5-year relationship during the process, but I haven't had a serious thought about it since. I still refuse to own a gun though. I don't quite trust myself, as that would be a quick out if things ever go sour again. Still haven't, but that's okay with me because I know I'll never act on it. My dog. I hated the fact thinking he wouldn't know or understand what happened to his mother. Looking forward to the day that I'd have something to look forward to. Suicide equals killing yourself equals you dying equals hurting your family emotionally. I didn't want to hurt my family even more, so I sucked up life until it got better. Which it did. Can I thank Up for this post, has helped get over some troubles and downs I've had recently. It might sound stupid, but I just got my mind off it. I started playing World of Warcraft. I joined a guild with a decent amount of people, and they all relied on me to show up for raid nights 3 times a week. I didn't. I just distract myself by staying busy. I usually try and think about the people in my life that my death would harm. That seems to do the trick most times. I also have to try and remind myself whatever I'm feeling isn't permanent. However, it's easier said than done. Nihilism. And you never really get over it. It would absolutely decimate my parents and my son, and I love them far too much to cause them that much pain. And so, I march on. Not so much my family, but as odd as this sounds, the fact that I would miss the next great album or movie or book. Especially music. I love music and it has in some way kept me alive. I know that this is the Reddit equivalent of putting a message in a bottle and casting it into the sea, but struggling terribly right now. In the fight. Urge to drink alcohol is strong. Former alcohol abuser. Try these last 10 years, or self-harm. I'm in 40s, this is not a teen thing, this is pain so acute the mind cannot process it, so seeks to externalize it with tangible pain. I personally find little value in helplines, Samaritans in the UK. It's not ethical for me to say why. I have no one to tell I am otherwise in distress. There is a crisis team, but their sole role is to decide if you need to be admitted, not as a support group. I have nowhere to turn and no moves to make. If I had a gun I'd have shot myself. There are implements about, but slow, messy and painful is not the way I'd want to go out. It's awful. How do I get over it? In this moment? I don't know = keep going because I don't have a choice, I suppose. / I just want to go now though. I didn't fight them. I didn't stigmatize myself for having them. I just acknowledged the thought, let it run its course, and went about my day. It's focusing on it that makes it consume you. If you accept it, then it has no real power over you. I just think of the things I would have missed out on if I killed myself. My favorite musical artists are always coming up with new music, so I don't want to miss those, and one night I was listening to a new album by Bastille and I just told myself, wow, if I had killed myself, I would have never been able to listen to this masterpiece. It sounds really silly, but thinking about potentially missing new music, or just any experience in general, keeps me going. I also posted this in the wrong thread and am screaming, but here, it's in the right thread now. I tried suicide and thought it was stupid. Suicidal thoughts aren't something you can just get over. You can somewhat move past them, but they'll always be there waiting at the back of your mind, ready to creep back in. For me it was changing my environment. I was in a job I hated. Yes, I made money, but I was miserable in the long run. There were other factors in my life that played into it, but the job really was the nail in the coffin, so to speak. I remembered how much more at ease and how happy I was when I was working retail in college. Customer service was probably 85% good, because even though you had your mean customers, the majority were nice, and making people happy makes me happy. I feed off of that positive energy. I still was a regular patron to the place and kept in touch with my co-workers after all those years. I decided to ask if I could come back as a seasonal employee. They ended up offering my management job back with open arms and full-time hours. I was so grateful and have been so happy and so welcomed since going back. I left it because the other job paid more, but ultimately I learned that cliché that money doesn't buy happiness. I haven't had bouts of crippling depression since then. Smile. This is very late, but I think I might have a unique insight on this. I got over suicide thoughts by sitting myself down with a pen and paper and making a table. On the left, it had various suicide methods: hanging myself, pill overdose, slitting my wrists, etc. And to the right, there were columns. The columns were titled chance of surviving, 1 to 10, amount of pain I'd be in, 1 to 10, and why I should/why I shouldn't do it this way. And when I finished this table, I noticed a few things. Each and every method seemed absolutely and positively dreadful. Slitting my wrists? Painful. Hanging myself? Devastating for my parents to walk in on. Pill overdose? I might survive. I think it helped me overall to put into perspective the magnitude of what I had been considering, and made me realize that I needed help. Each day I find something else to live for, because the alternative is so much worse. By knowing the fact it would destroy my mom if she lost me, so I need to be alive for her. So I force myself to get stuff done, and that makes the thoughts go away. Check to see if your diet is causing them. The high-carb standard American diet can lead to many mental imbalances, especially due to the lack of electrolyte balance. Another thing is to try and cut toxic people out of your life, even family members. Easier online by far, but it helps a lot. If somebody upsets you, report them and move on. Ignore them. Don't feed into their antics. Make sure to get some sunshine, it can definitely help. If that isn't an option, take a vitamin D supplement. Take up meditation if that's your kind of thing. Remember that there is always somebody who cares about you, no matter what.